What's up, fam? Oh man, what's good? Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. We're at it again. 2026, baby. 2025. Where did it go? No one knows. But we're here. Man, feels good to be here. We're gonna start this off with your guys. You guys send me a question, and I started off the podcast by answering these questions. And someone reached out to me and asked me about the story of me hitting a woman with my car. Allegedly. Allegedly. So yeah, so that's I don't even know what episode I mentioned it in, but so here is the story, the alleged story. So when I was young, I think it was like 15 or 16, and this was when I lived in Tennessee. And my friends, the Africans, it was two Africans, Jimmy and Jacob, and they had a car, and no license, and I had my license but no car. So they would drive to me, and then I would drive us around because I had the license and they had the car. So it was like we worked together as a team, just me and a couple Africans in a small 1992 Honda Civic is what it was. And so I remember for the summer, that's all we did was just, gas was probably like $1.30. So we could drive to California and back and be okay. So we were just driving all over Tennessee, my town. And my town's so small that you could do a full trip in my town in 15 minutes. So we were burning the roads up. Everyone saw our faces all the time. Just me and two Africans. And so I remember it was one summer, we were just driving around and we saw a group of kids, our colleagues, our classmates. And it was my cousin, her boyfriend, and some other people, and it was like some girls and guys. And there's one girl who's my friend, who's like my childhood friend. We went to elementary school together, and we pulled over and we were talking to everybody, and we parted ways, and I started to drive, and I don't know what caused her to do this, but she jumped on the hood of my car like she was sitting on the hood of my car. And in my mind, immediately it said, floor it. So I did what my mind told me to do. Maybe it was is it intrusive? Impulsive thought. Yeah, both of them. It wasn't even a thought that I usually think of. It was a commercial that I heard it, and I just did it. And I floored it, all 30 horsepowers of that Honda Civic. And we probably went about 30 feet, just accelerating as slow as it did. I don't remember the top speed that we got to, but she got scared, and I could tell she got scared. I'm sorry. I just want to take, we were still friends after this. We were cool, nothing happened. So anyways, I accelerated, and she was like, stop, 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 stop. And she was like holding on to the hood. And so I stopped as quick as I could, and she rolled off, and the car clipped her legs. And listen, it's not even funny. It's not. I don't even know. It's just one of those memories you have, and it's so crazy. I'm only giggling because it's a crazy memory. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe, allegedly it happened, and no one ended up in jail. So I ended up clipping her, but not bad. I didn't run her. She went under the Honda, but I hit her legs, and she and she kind of went to the sidewalk, and I was like, are you okay? Because I'm a good friend. I had to check on her. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll be all right. She was a tough cookie. Dude, she was a tomboy. So she was just a tough cookie. And I saw her when after the summer when school started, and she was walking and she had both of her legs. So it wasn't that crazy, right? But that's the story of me allegedly hitting a woman in not my vehicle, but my friend's vehicles. Allegedly, Jimmy and Jacob. Shout out to them wherever they're at. I haven't heard from them in a long time. So listen, y'all, I have been grinding so much. When I say grinding, not on Grinder. I've been working hard, is what I mean. Pause. I've been working. I've been creating a lot of stuff, and it just got me thinking. And my boy asked me this. He was like, "I want to hear your story. Like, I want to hear like what made you." And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about like what made me, because I honestly feel like after this year, life is going to be different. Like, life is going to change in like the creative world for me. I don't know. I feel it in my core, and let this be the stamp that I'm saying this. This is episode 12, by the way. This is 3 months of podcasting. So I appreciate y'all, a few people that's listening. But yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I've been working hard, and I think life is going to be different for me after this year. I know, let me say this. I know life is going to be different for me after this year in the creative world. So I'm going to talk about just me and where I came from. And I think it's important that you don't forget, where you came from, because as you move forward in life and as you grow, you don't want to forget that. And, I don't want to make it and be big and have 1 million followers and then just start snubbing everybody. Like my nephew's running up to me and I pull out a Sharpie and sign their forehead and just keep walking. I don't ever want to get to that point in my life. My mom tries to do it. Security guards grab her and I have a moment. I'm like, oh, it's my mom. Wait, oh, hey, guys, easy. It's my mom. So let me, yeah. So I don't ever want to get to that point where I can't eat a bowl of cereal because I'm too busy eating things from France. I don't want to forget. So when I was born, that's where we're starting. No, we're not going to start. So growing up, I'm biracial. And a lot of people think I'm Hispanic. A lot of people think I'm a little bit of an Asian descent. Some people think I'm of Indian descent. Some people think that I'm Middle Eastern descent, which is hard flying sometimes. Some people think that I'm just a white person with a really nice tan, just a golden brown tan, and that's nice as well. And some people think that I'm a black person, but God just didn't inject all the blackness in me. And I'm a little bit of everything, is what I'm saying. And so growing up, I remember being very, and this is something that like, it tries to creep back in my life, but I remember being lost as a kid, like not knowing culturally where I fit in and who I fit in with. I always felt like I had to like pick a group, and I felt like that's what society made me feel like. And so all through my younger years, I was just doing things and like feeling like, oh, I had to do this, and then I would change and had to do this. I really felt like a chameleon. I was like, I know how them things feel now. They're always changing. So it was tough for me. And even now, sometimes it will hit me, but I've learned that I don't have to choose a box. And that's what makes me unique, is my white side, my black side, my Indian side. And when I say Indian, listen, y'all, I'm not saying like I'm 0.002%, like some folks be saying out there. Like my mom's mom, I believe, is full Cherokee Indian. And I'm not Einstein, because that there's some math involved, but that makes me a lot of Native American. So I remember being confused. So I would do, I was a bad kid. I think maybe the confusion caused me to be bad too, because I don't know, I just felt lost. And I did a lot of alleged crimes in my life. I stole a little bit. I broke in, me and my cousins May allegedly had broken into a house and went into a basement, and it was very creepy, and we ran out of that house, but no one was living in the house. We may have done that. So what I did for fun growing up, one of the funnest activities for me, and I don't know if I told my mom this, but I just want to apologize in advance. But one of my funnest activities, games, was running from the cops. That was exciting for me. And so the little bit of blackness that God injected into me was speed. I'm not the fastest, but I'm not the slowest. And so out running from the cops, I have several stories of shooting fireworks at cops, allegedly, running from cops, 4th of July, firework wars on 4th of July, just egging cars. I was just a wild kid, and my dad wasn't really in my life either. He was former military, and I think that had a part to do with it, because he was always in stealth mode. Maybe he was just always being ready in case he had to be ready, if you know what I'm saying. And so he couldn't be around me because he was always in camouflage. So he was never there. And my mom was trying to play both roles, as dad and mom. And she did her best. But that was hard itself, because I was a rebellious lad. I was. And, I was born in Tennessee, which is a part of the Bible Belt. And we had churches all around us. And listen, they would come and pick us up in a van, and random white people, and take us to a church. And we would fight on the van. And we would get to the church, and we would skip church and everything. I broke the van's door, allegedly. And so I was just rough, man. I was so rough. And my mom did everything, just a lot. And so I ended up moving to Jacksonville, and I finished my senior year of school up. I was a hooper, y'all. I was a basketball player, and I had dreams of going to the NBA, but I didn't have a lot. I didn't have a lot of, height at 5'6". But I was good. I averaged 18 points in high school. I broke the high school scoring record of 43. I could have had 50 if I made my free throws. What an idiot. Sorry, Mom. She bought me a basketball hoop just to work on free throws. We would have free throw contests outside in the summertime. Challenge, and I failed. All I had to do was hit, 7 more free throws? And I had like 10 free throws, but I sucked. So after high school, I was just lost. I was always dating. Oh, dude, girls was my weakness. Girls was like a piece of cake to a fat kid for me. And I loved cake. And that was, I'm gonna be honest, in my whole life combined, let's say from 13 up, I've probably had a combination of just singleness from 13 to now, probably maybe 6 months to a year. And that was the thing. But I'm going to push pause on that because guess what time it is? It's our sponsor. Hey, y'all. Man, where would I be without our sponsors? I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Afro Wigs. Man, dude, let me tell y'all, when I had short hair and I really wanted the brother to come out, I threw on an Afro wig. And I would walk through the hood and people would give me the fist and be like, "What up, brother?" And I'm like, "So, daddy." So Afro wigs really helped me. Like I said in this podcast, when I was struggling with my identity, when I wanted to be a soul brother, I would throw on an Afro wig. So shout out to Afro wigs for just allowing me to be cultured and be here in this podcast today. Without that, where would we be? Disco parties. Hey, you would be an idiot with just a regular hairdo. But since we have Afro wigs, you can be groovy and get down on it. So, I just want to give a shout out in those categories. Hey, there's a lot of whites out there that really want to be black. Guess what? We have Afro wigs. If you use promo code "Pick That Afro Wig Out," baby, to get 50% off, you could feel like a brother. That's promo code "Pick That Afro Wig Out," baby. And you gotta submit the code like that. You could be a brother for 50% off. Tell them JoJo sent you. Back to our program. So, yeah, I was just bad. And so, I graduated high school. I had a few offers to play ball at a D3 school, D2 school. And I was just big headed. I had pride. I had everything. Dude, I've been lost most of my life. I'm going to be honest. I've been lost. I've been hurt. I've been hurting a lot of people. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I apologize to everybody out there. And I was a herter. And my aunt who burned the Christmas tree and the trailer down, she told me, she was like, she said, "You're cute. You're going to be a heartbreaker when you grow up." And I think she put it on me. She put those words on me and those words stuck. And I don't know what it is. So yeah, girls in trouble and being lost. And that was it. I didn't know what, so I just jumped in a relationship after relationship. And, then I was like, maybe I need to find out who this God person is. And I had an idea of God, but I just didn't have a relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like that neighbor kid that comes over and knocks on your door and always wants to hang out with you. And you're just looking through the blinds. Or you tell your mama to tell them you're sleeping or you're sick. And you're just really in there playing the PS2. So that's what I was doing. And I still just continued not to do it. And, it led me, I've made some good friends along the road. And I stopped doing some bad stuff. It was more of just being a toxic person. But I stopped doing bad stuff because I realized the most important thing is I don't have the body type for prison. I don't. Some people say I'm cute. A lot of gay men do. And there's other people that say that. And that's not a good look, y'all. So Sorry, I'm just thinking about my life and just everything. So, a lot of things happened. I traveled back and forth and just lost and, joined a cult church and just a lot of things in my life. A lot of ups and downs. What was that, producer? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And then really what yeah, the cult church, witch, dated a witch, all these things. I did a lot of drugs. Did drugs. I tried to escape from life through drugs, pills. I took my first pill at a young age, like 11. I molested at a young age. That happened. That wasn't fun. I'm trying to think what else. All these things. But it's crazy because I really like all throughout all these things, all this badness in me and bad experiences, I still had good moments. Like I still felt like throughout all this stretch of life and wanting to do bad for fun and that feeling and adrenaline, I still knew what doing nice felt like. And so I would do nice things from time to time. But my percentages were probably like 90-10. 90 bad, 10 nice. And I try to weigh those out a little evenly, but it just didn't happen. So listen, y'all, it's been a day. It's been a long day. And I drank coffee early this morning and I feel myself winding down. I want to give y'all everything. I do. I want to give y'all the best show. But this is deep thoughts. And I know this feels very deep. It is deep. So just hang with me through this episode. I hope you've gotten a couple giggles out of it. But this is deep. This is me reflecting before I blow up and become famous and forget everybody. And that's what I'm not going to do. So, yeah, just everything. I've done a lot of things. And, I moved to Florida or Jacksonville, then moved to Tampa, lived there. And that's when I started comedy. That's when I started like stand up and sketch writing and improv. I've done so much in the field. It's been fun. It's been so fun, and never would I realize that like I wanted to do that because I wasn't like a good speaker or anything like that. And I still like struggle with the idea that I am somewhat of a good speaker, but I think it's just been a gift from God. Honestly, I know it has been. It's really not me. And then, I came up to Atlanta and I just like, man, I need something. I feel lost. It's like just roaming around in the darkness, and you're playing tag with people you can't see, and that's not a good feeling because people are touching you and you don't know who it is, and that's what it's like feeling lost. So I ended up just honestly just finding the Lord. Just trying to build a relationship with him. And I had a lot of bad baggage on me and a lot of bad things and hurt people and people hurt me. And I was just a wild child. And so I'm honestly, man, I found the Lord and got to know him a lot better. And we become cool and talking to him daily, and depression went away. Sadness went away. I'm not saying that I don't have rough times, but it's easier to deal with these moments. It's like the coolest. It's the coolest thing. It's like I have a different mindset. I have a different perspective on like these things. Yeah, granted, I've done all these things in my life that are bad or whatever, but now I've learned and I can help others. And then God brought me, and when I felt unworthy or undeserving and I was comfortable just with me, and I stopped searching for people, he then brought someone in my life. And and I told this person everything, all the bad stuff about me, and I didn't think it was going to work out, because it didn't work out with anybody. But she stuck around, and she saw my bad and was like, I'm going to help you work through it. And I was like, I don't deserve it. But a lot of stuff happened in between, and she got the ring. She got the ring and the last name, boys. So, and then now it's just been a constant grind of just my faith, family, and fun. My comedy career, my comedy journey. Now my comedy journey's changed. It's not just me trying to make it for me and be famous, but now it's, okay, as I'm going through this journey, how can I help others? How can I be there for others? How can I be a light to others? And when I get to the top, or, in my goals and everything, how can I reach that top, and then what God's given me pour back into everybody else, and just continuously do that? Because that's what life is about, is serving each other. I stray away from being selfish. Yeah, there's times I do things. I eat a little snack cake at 2 a.m. for myself because it's a nice treat and I love it. Or I'll drink some juice in the middle of the night. But life is about just serving one another and loving one another, showing that love, and at the end of the day, having that relationship with God. And those are important things to me. And that's who I am. And now I work hard because God's given me the gifts to do this, to do podcasting, to edit, to be able to write stories, to be able to write stand-up, to be able to perform, to be able to be creative. My wife, and she's producing and supporting me, and just all the chips have fallen in my favor, and the puzzle pieces is starting to fit, and pictures are starting to come too. And I really see myself just rising up in this and being different. And that's why I think like my comedy is different. It feels like we're family when you're at a show, if you feel connected. And when I talk to people before and after, it's like, yeah, laughter is great. That's number 2. But number 1 is, how can I serve you? And that's the difference from me and every other person. And that's what's going to make me stand out and draw you people in. But that's my time. Dude, this was deep. Dude, so deep we could have had an in-ground swimming pool. But yeah, that's me. And I don't want to forget me as God starts opening these big doors for me. So I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to look at my bank account and lose myself. So I love you guys. Make sure you follow JoJo White Comedy. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be blessed, and shoot me a question if you want me to answer something. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.